Well, I do thumb look blonde. One of these is supposed to be red. Are we live?
I believe that we are, actually.
Crap, I think we're live.
So, welcome to the Raconteur Press Boys Books Adventure Novels announcements for 2026. We are, as you can see, very serious about this. Oh, phew. Now I have the floof.
You're getting a screaming headache.
So, with that out of the way, what I thought we might start by talking about is actually the books that we have already done, and just briefly touch on that because the last few months have been
so long ago.
The last few months have been our proof of concept, not only to show ourselves that we could do boys books, but also to see if there was a market for boys books, and to show potential authors and readers what we can do. And we have some phenomenal books. Ian, do you want to stand up front and look pretty and be my Vanna White? So
also getting our TTPs down was extremely important to me. So these first 3 or 4 that we've done, we went hard and quick to see if we could fail, so that we could find the weak points in the process and fix them. And kind of worried because we didn't have any weak points. So our very first one, Storm Dragon from Dave Freer. Holy crap, was this a good pony out of the gate?
Yes, no. I mean, Dave is a phenomenal writer, and I've read some of his juvenile fiction in the past, so I knew that this was going to be a quality book. And all of the boys' books that we have published so far have hit number 1 in multiple categories. And in fact, our second book, like I said, we're going to go through this pretty quickly. Our second book, which is Boys Own Starship, from Christopher G. Nuttall, who is the man is prolific.
That's a word for it.
I have been reading his stuff since he was putting it in Bane's Slush forums in, 2005. And he sent us this manuscript, and not only do we have this book, which has stayed in number 5 in children's books in the top 5 for the last, since it was released, basically. It went right to the top of the charts, and it is staying there. And that was what really told us that there is a appetite in the market for boys fiction.
I don't know about her, but that LibertyCon where we made the announcement that we were considering boys books told me there was a market.
Yeah.
The reaction from the crowd and the reaction later from the ladies in the crowd told me that, yeah, we were on the right track.
Well, and what really told us that, and we don't have a copy of it here to show off, but what really solidified that was we published a debut novel, Dreams of Golden Fire by Fred Phillips, hit number 1 in its category and stayed there for more than 30 days. And the fact that it did that for a debut novel told us that there is a gap in the market a mile wide, and we need to put out more books for boys, which we are doing. We have, since Dreams of Golden Fire, we have released I've Got This by Frederick Key, which the tagline for that is the worst superpower ever. And it's a fun read. It is a great little mystery, and there's a little bit of fantasy in there.
Still number 2 through number 5 in multiple categories under new release.
And again, this is a new author. This is not not somebody who came to us with a really big audience in boys' books. So this tells us that this is what the market is looking for. And we will be releasing this month. We will be releasing a book by the title of Meteor Men, written by Scott Shad, also known as the world's most interesting geologist. For more on that, you'll have to go read the post on Substack. Meteor Men is not science fiction or fantasy. It is straight up history, mystery. There's some science in there, but I want to see how it does in the market because I want our boys' books to be broad. I want them to have all the things for the boys to read. And science fiction and fantasy are obviously our bread and butter, but
I seriously think my current worldview on that is that boys' adventure is the genre.
yes.
I don't, as long as it's boys' adventure, I don't care how it's set,
Yes.
where it's set. Boys' adventure. The genre is irrelevant. Give me something kids want to read.
Yep.
As a child, Hardy Boys weren't science fiction or fantasy. I read, Hardy Boys, Three Investigators, which were very definitely murder or mystery types.
Yeah.
Highland's Juveniles, and McCaffrey's Dragon Riders. I didn't care.
So that's releasing in September. So it'll be up for pre-order as of September 10th. And that's Meteor Men by Scott Shad. In October, we will be releasing, and I know the author is in the chat, we will be releasing Fossil Force by Graham Bradley. And Fossil Force is really interesting because Graham describes it differently than I did, but I don't have the references for the animatronics and mechatronics things. But I really loved this manuscript when I first read it because it does have everything we were looking for. It's got a solid family relationship, boys having adventures. I love the fact that they're running around on their bicycles doing stuff, and it has giant stomping robots, and well, we have an affinity for those here.
We do. We do.
So that one will be coming out in October. And then in November, we will have Accidental Pirates by Stanley Wheeler, which is a portal fantasy, and it has some serious action adventure going on in this. And there is a dragon, but there's also pirates, and the pirates are mostly not good guys at all. So this one is, I think that this one boys will really, really like because it does not hold back from the action.
Outstanding.
And then in December, it will be...
This is the one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, this is The Map in Mr. Glim's Skull. And it is written by a gentleman who goes by Mallory. He's one of those one-name authors.
Mononyms.
And it is weird. It is twisted fantasy, and we think it's going to go over really well with our boys' audience.
I think that I can think of several 9-year-old Ians that would have seen a title with skull in it and snatch that one right off the shelf.
Oh yeah, and the cover will definitely play into that too. And then in January, we will have the second book by Chris Nuttall in the Boys' Own Starship series. So book 2, we have the manuscript. It is going to editors. And we are really excited about that. We do have more in the pipeline, but that's where I'm going to stop talking about it. And we're going to talk now about what we're planning on doing in 2026.
Hiding.
So
whimpering in a corner. Crying in the shower.
In 2026, in addition to doing an anthology a month, and because if those of you that listened to our anthology announcement last week, we only announced 12 anthologies. We have another secret anthology announcement coming up at the end of the month. Stay tuned for that one. However, in addition to an anthology a month,
and I heard everybody saying, "Oh, they're slacking off."
we are going to be doing a boys' book a month, and to that end, we need you to help us. We need more manuscripts for boys' books. So this is our open call for boys' book manuscripts. And what we want is solid adventure stories. We want protagonists aged roughly 10 to 18. Yes, we are aware that middle grade is what we've been saying, but the reality is that what we want are what used to be called juveniles. So everybody talks about Heinlein juveniles.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the protagonists in those books are definitely like 17, 18-year-old, right on the verge of manhood, and that is okay. Married men who have been widowed and have a small child, that is not a boys' book, but I digress. So we want specifically boys' books right now. We're still maintaining the open call for that. And that is because this is what we discovered about the Hungry Market. And I saw this as a children's librarian 12 years ago. There is very little current fiction being written for boys in that age group. And
boys and tomboys.
And tomboys. And that's the thing, is that I think to a woman, all of the women in the Rack Press staff, and there are several of us, and I'm getting emphatic nods from Donna across the room, these are the books that we wanted to read when we were girls. We did not want what I used to call the pink books. And that is what YA, young adult fiction, is largely populated with books that are intended for girls, books that have romance in them. And we want boys' adventure books, no romance, girls as side characters, perfectly fine. But right now we're not looking for female main characters because we want to build the trust of our readers. We want our tomboys, we want our boys to be confident when they pick up a Raconteur Press book that it is going to have the stuff that they like in it. And all the action and all the adventure.
Being the publishers, we did a run over to Books A Million and popped over to the YA section to take a look at the competition.
Yep.
And I knew that we hit it out of the park when Rita comes down the aisle with an annoyed look on her little face and says, "It's all fucking pink."
Well, a lot of it's black these days because it's dark fantasy. And unfortunately, a lot of the YA has spicy sex scenes in it these days.
Yeah.
So what we talk about for what we want is not that. We also
Girls will read boys' adventures.
Yes.
Boys will read boys' adventures.
Yes.
Boys will not read girls' adventures.
They'll read a girl's adventure. What they don't want is a girl's romance. But the other thing that we're looking for is that we want to see a strong family dynamic. Mm-hmm. We do not want to see dumb dads and whiny moms. That will not fly with us. We would really like to see strong families modeled in these books. We're not looking for message fiction. We do want role models. And that's just one of my personal bugaboos, is I don't like the way that men are portrayed.
I want
a lot
good,
of young adult
solid
fiction.
Family dynamics. I will not accept dysfunctional families.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of market out there. You can publish on your own. There are plenty of publishers that will take your boys' venture with a dysfunctional family. Don't sell it to me. I won't buy it.
Okay, so as we enter the question and answer portion of this, we want to talk about one other thing. Because our concept is to start grabbing the reading market as young as possible. So in aid of this, we have our picture books lines that will be happening. And right now, this is not an open call. We are working within our Rack Press staff. This particular book was written by Spearman Burke in a feverish fit of creativity. And it also includes a teaching guide for learning binary, and it has binary decoding exercises for the older readers. So the idea there is to basically have it be a picture book that can be read aloud to the very young, that will stay with them as they get older.
Each one of these, the Velveteen Shoggoth, Space Possums.
Yes.
Each one of these Littles books that we release will have some teaching stuff in it.
Yes.
I'm kind of worried about what will be in the Velveteen Shoggoth, but there will be teaching stuff in there.
Oh, we have a plan.
That's what worries
that's coming
me. That's
out
what worries
from
me.
Chris Denote, and I will be
Yes.
illustrating all of these.
Velveteen Shoggoth will be coming
And
out
that is a 2026 release.
for littles.
Uh-huh. So Giant Counting Robots was our 2025 picture book release. Right now, the plan is to have Space Possums be our 2026 picture book release, and then the Velveteen Shoggoth in 2027, and possibly another one as well. We'll see what my schedule looks like. All right, we do have some questions, and I want to get to before they scroll away from me here. And an absent parent that is off on a cattle drive is okay, but because there's opportunities to show there that there's a good relationship with dad. Dad just happens to be gone because work took him away, and there's nothing wrong with that.
As long as the him being away, it's not an excuse for backbiting or,
Well, I think fathers being away for work is a pretty standard thing that happens because
there was a children's book from England that I read as a child, and the father was away for work, and it was obvious the family loved him, and he was gone for most of it. And then towards the end, he found out he'd been in prison.
Oh, goodness, maybe not that.
Whoops. Well, for good reasons.
Oh, but, okay. I mean, if it's a noble cause, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go back to, and this is a girl's book, but Little Women. Their father is away in the Civil War, and then he's wounded. But he was fighting in wartime. And so he's absent, and the mother in that book is doing her best to raise the girls. Those kinds of situations they happen, and they can be done with love and caring for the children, even if the parents are not there. So will there be a Young Law Dogs chemistry manual?
Probably not. She keeps wanting to. Rita keeps telling me, Cedar.
So I keep pitching the education of Law Dog as because I think it would be a lot of fun.
Dear Mr. Law Dog, please find enclosed a letter from my lawyers.
I think we could do it without having stuff in it that would draw the ire of lawyers.
My son made 50 pounds of ammonium triiodide according to the recipe in your Young Law Dog chemistry book. We are now missing a high school.
I think
my lawyers will be in touch.
I think there's an argument for the fact that we have become too risk averse as a society. And this actually pertains to the boys' books and to the books that we've already accepted and are publishing, and also to what we're looking for in manuscripts, which is that a lot of books are bought by mothers. So there was a question about, okay, how much violence can we depict? And I'm like, they're boys. They're violent and they're macabre. And so, I mean, we don't want gratuitous gore.
No.
We don't want like super dark horror type stuff, but the Goosebumps sell really, really well. So I am not adverse to the idea
Goosebumps
of having.
Isn't bad.
I'm not adverse to having some horror elements in the books.
Mild
either.
horror.
I mean, we never want the book to be without hope, and a lot of horror is hopeless, and we don't want that. That's a no-go with us. There have been some things that I have rejected based on the themes in them being. That's a bridge too far. So yeah. Do we have any other questions? Because I'm trying to keep these announcement videos fairly short, and we will be talking more. We're going to be doing some more videos on the philosophy behind our boys' books. And next week, tentatively, as I get eyebrows from across the room, we're going to do an announcement concerning our upcoming novel schedule and also what you can expect if you're writing a novel and would like to submit it to us.
Is 60K words a no-go?
No, 60K words is fine. For the boys' books, ideally, we want to land somewhere between 40 and 80,000 words. If you send me a book that is longer than 80,000 words, Congratulations. 2 books. That's what it is. And we will break it and then set up the publishing schedule so that there's no cliffhangers for your readers. That's the same thing I do with the adult novels. Is if it's 120,000 words, it's fine. If it's over 120,000 words, it's 2 books. So with a boys book, if you send me a book that's over 80,000 words, it's 2 books.
So just so we're tracking, 2025, we did 1 anthology every 2 weeks. 2026, we're doing 1 anthology every 4 weeks and 1 boys book every 4 weeks. And see next announcement.
So yes,
slacking off, Ian.
As far as submissions go, you will be sending these to submissions at
Check on the Substack.
Check on the Substack, and it'll probably also be on the website if I figure out how to make new pages on the website. That's a whole other maybe too much behind the scenes. Anyhow,
screaming.
But yes, check the Substack. The information is there for submissionists. Rambunctious boys. Yes, please give us rambunctious boys.
Rambunctious boys in a protagonist role.
I mean, we've had
boys rambunctious.
We've had portrayal of bullies in the protagonist role because bullying is a thing.
Rambunctious boys are rambunctious.
Boys should be rambunctious. If they're not rambunctious, I mean, you
kind
do have
kind of a boring story.
Well, and I mean, I worry about them if they're not rambunctious. That is the other thing, is that we are really pro homeschooling, alternative schooling. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. We are having our books promoted to homeschoolers and through some homeschooling outlets. We want books that are solid, fun reads.
Yeah.
And
write the book you wanted to read as a young boy or young girl.
Yes.
Write the book you wanted to read.
And we're open to historicals. Right now we're reviewing a manuscript that's set in a historical time period, and we're all really excited about it because it's not one that we see very often.
Joe Eisenberg, are there topics for some of the boys' books as there are for short story?
No.
Do we assign topics? No. Right.
You write the book that you want to write.
Mm-hmm. Write the book you wanted to read.
Send us a complete manuscript. We're not really looking at queries for boys' books. We'd like to see the complete manuscript. And you don't need to write much in the way of an introduction email. If you want to briefly let us know about yourself and what you have else out there, we are not looking for republication. That continues to be true. We've had a number of questions about that. If it has already been published, even if it was self-published or published on your Substack or on Royal Road or something like that, that's not what we're looking for right now.
And quite honestly, guys, this is something that I wanted to bring up later on. I keep forgetting about it. Please don't take this wrong way. I don't care about you. So when you send a 3-page CV, that's very nice. But your story.
Yes, that's
we're publishing your story. You know, we'll get around to you, the author, later. Let's work on the book.
So the thing is that a lot of authors have been taught that that's how you do it because that's what publishers bought.
Well, now they're going to get untaught.
Was the publishers were buying what the author was. And that's not what we're doing. We are buying a really good story that we think boys will enjoy reading.
There's a couple of my authors on here, and quite honestly, you can ask them, you're just a collection of letters to me. You're a story with a collection. Oh, yeah, there's the guy that wrote it. The story is what I'm interested in. The story is what we sell. That story is what the kid's going to be buying.
Yeah.
We can, later on, we get to the who's, whys, and wherefores of you. Send us a good story. The 5-page, and you think I'm joking, the 5-page introduction to me, the author. Love the enthusiasm. I scrolled past it.
Raptor, would a child outlaw be okay? The law in this case being highly corrupt. Probably.
It depends how you write it.
Exactly. I was going to say it really depends on how you execute the story.
Mm-hmm.
It depends. I mean, I had somebody point out that the Redwall books, which are, I actually haven't read them, I will confess, but everybody loves them. The
I've never read them
characters
either.
in those are adults, evidently. I mean, adult mice, but but that's the thing is if you write us an anthropomorphic story, we're good with that too. If it's a great story.
Be careful with the anthropomorphic. I am an ex-cop.
Oh yeah, no, not
Furries,
that, not that
furries,
kind.
and cops.
No, we're talking about like Redwall or the Warrior
Okay.
Cats or the Owl books that were a big thing recently.
I-
That kind.
I open up a furry story, I start to twitch. Bad memories, bad. PTSD.
Yeah, that is the thing, which is that we don't want any kind of sexual undercurrents in the books.
We're writing. Just give us good old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Three Investigators, Hardy's Boys, the books that you as a child took, went that worn book on the shelf, you went back and the happy read,
Mm-hmm.
the comfort read that you as a young child went to time after time. That was your default book.
Yep.
Violence. The Hobbit was a boys' book for me.
The Hobbit was written as a boys' book.
Yes,
it is a boys' book.
There's violence there. Violence can be
Yes.
done. Violence is okay. It can be done right. I don't want sexual violence. I don't want any sort of sexuality in it at all. I don't want inappropriate adults in a family relationship. Please
Yeah.
don't. There are plenty of publishers that will take that. No.
The idea is that we are looking at this market. I used to think it was a niche in the market, but no, there is a hungry gap in the market for this kind of book where the boys like it, the girls like it. It is
parents
good,
like it.
Clean fun.
Yeah, parents like it. It's a win for everybody, and I miss those books. I miss those. I had a shelf full of well-worn books that I went to grab from age about 8 to about 18.
Yep.
My collection of books.
And I mean, on my shelf at home right now, I've got the Swallows and Amazon series. I have Swiss Family Robinson. I have the books that I grew up reading and loving, and the Black Stallion series, and just there are so many. I mean, I could sit here and just list them for a long time.
Folks, if you send us a story and we don't take it, which will happen sooner or later, self-publish it yourself and take all the money. Okay? You can do that these days. If you write, if you put your heart and soul into a story, send it to us. It's not quite what we were looking for. It doesn't quite fit in our wheelhouse. Self-publish it. You get to keep the 70% from Amazon instead of what the percentage.
And I have written numerous articles on how to do that on a shoestring. So if you get to that point, I'm happy to send you links. But here's the deal with what we do. We partner with our authors. We don't make money unless the book sells. And no, we don't pay in advance, but we share in the risk because we're taking a percentage, just like we're paying out a percentage of the royalties to you.
And if you're new to Erector Press, we've got several authors in the chat here. Hit up one of them as far as our relationship with our authors. And we are not a vanity press. We don't screw people over.
We have published a blank draft of our contract on our Substack, so you can take a look at that. It's the one for anthologies, but the one for novels is similar in most respects. So yeah, no, we do our best to promote our authors. We are all in this together, and we succeed when you succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And this is very much our concept, is that we want to put good books out there in the world. And we want to get our readers young and not lose them to video games and all the other forms of entertainment that are so easy and don't involve reading. So that's, as a mother, and all my kids are grown now, but that's very important to me. So, and thank you all for coming and being in the chat. And
thanks for showing up in an evening where you could have been doing something else.
And if you watch this later on and you weren't able to be here for the chat, leave us a comment. We're going to monitor those so that we can answer any questions that pop up there.
And we will have further more than one further upcoming announcements about
2026.
2026.
All right, folks. We are going to sign off now, and thank you all for being here, and thank you so much
Y'all be
for the
safe,
boys'
okay?
books. Bye now.